All right, everybody, welcome back to the Preacher and the Prodigy. It is the final college football pick'em podcast of 2022. Maybe not of the college football season, but the last one of the calendar year, as we have come down to the bowl season picks that we'll be making today. We have not chosen to do all the bowl games, all the Weed Eater Bowls and the Duke's Mayo Bowls and things like that. We're going to focus on the big ones this year, the New Year's Six Bowls, the ones that feature the top 12 teams roughly from around the country, and we'll be looking at those, ending, of course, with the two college football playoff games this year. Those would be the Peach Bowl and then the Fiesta Bowl, which look ahead to the college football championship game, which will be played at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Jericho, what are your thoughts? So, any comments on the bowl season so far? Not perhaps as many opt-outs as we've seen in the past, although nobody from Tennessee wants to play Clemson, evidently. Not a whole lot of surprises in bowl season. More and more, this is becoming an exhibition kind of a year.
Yeah, I mean, Sam, like the transfer portal is going crazy. So Sam Hartman just recently has gone to is probably gone to Notre Dame. He's still in the transfer portal. But the Wake Forest leader in almost all the passing records, transferring out of there as a graduate. Not much. We're just kind of waiting to see what will happen with the New Year's Six games. So, yes, let's get into it.
All right. And according to your records, which I have no reason to doubt, we are tied on the year. 37 correct, 31 incorrect, and 1 tie on the course of the year. So we'll just probably each go first 3 times in this one. Let's begin with Tulane versus USC. Is it the Sugar Bowl? What bowl is this?
Maybe?
Or is Alabama, Kansas State the Sugar Bowl?
No, that's the Sugar Bowl. I don't know. I don't know.
Is this the Cotton Bowl?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to call it the Cotton Bowl. It is the Tulane Green Wave, rated number 16 in the country, versus USC, led by Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams. USC is a 2-point favorite. I'm going to go fight on. Give me the Trojans to win. Caleb Williams of the bounce-back game.
That's what you said last time we had this podcast, and then the conference championship games, and I think that the physicality of Tulane is going to get USC by surprise. USC, not like if you told them at the beginning of the year they'd end up 10th with the New Year's Six Bowl, it probably wouldn't be disappointing. But with what happened the previous weeks, you'd say at this point it's been a bit of a disappointment. And Tulane has nothing to lose here. Tulane being a physical, pound the rock kind of a team. USC has struggled with those, especially as of late.
All right, you're taking Tulane.
Yeah, I mean,
I also didn't predict Caleb Williams to be injured against Utah either, and of course, if that happens, everything changes. All right, now let's go to the Sugar Bowl. Number 5 Alabama versus number 9 Kansas State, the champions of the Big 12 by virtue of an overtime win over TCU.
Give me Bama. I think, what's the line on this?
Six and a half.
6.5. I might take Kansas State, actually. I think it's going to be a nail biter, but I think with Alabama and Bryce Young and Nick Saban just being the better team, being there before, I think that their experience is going to come through in the end. I got them about a 38-34 kind of game. Bama wins.
So you're going to take K-State and the points, though. I'm going to take Bama and lay the points. I'm going to disagree with you again. I think Nick Saban wants to use this game to build into a strong 2023. I'm going chalk. I think Bama wins somewhat handily in this game. All right, third game is the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. Penn State, number 11 versus number 8 Utah. In this game, Utah is a 2.5-point favorite. I'm going Big Ten. I'm going to grab the points. I'm going to take Penn State to win the game outright and win the Rose Bowl. And I'm going Penn State with really a springboard into what they think will be a big 2023. Give me the Nittany Lions.
So now you're believing in Penn State. Finally, at the end of the year, you think they're legit. You're going to top 10 team.
I think that they're more legit than Utah in this game. Yes, I think they're more hungry. Give me Penn State.
Top 10 team. I'll agree with you. I like Penn State. I've liked them all year. I think that, Utah coming off, it's got to come off their high horse, I think, with the Pac-12 championship under their belt, and I think that, like you said, is going to spring them forward into a good 2023 campaign. So give me the Penn State Nittany Lions to cover as well.
All right, in the All Things Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Is this the Orange Bowl too? It is probably the Orange
yeah.
Bowl with the orange teams. Tennessee Volunteers, number 6 in the country, versus number 7 Clemson. Tennessee, of course, rode Hendon Hooker most of the year. He is done for the season, and Tennessee has had a bunch of players opt out of this game. Clemson is going to be riding with Cade Klubnik after DJ Ungalalele, or however I'm pronouncing his name, is transferring to the Beavs of Oregon State. Clemson is a 4.5-point favorite. You go first in this one.
I think that with the inexperience at QBs for both teams, Tennessee just has better all-around talent on the offense to help their backup. And I think that it's going to be really hard for Cade Klubnik to get things going, especially, like on the other side of the ball. Clemson doesn't have a Biletnikoff winner and, those kind of guys. And I think that it's really going to steer Joe Milton in the right direction, former Michigan guy. And I think that even though Clemson's defenses look good at the end of the year, I feel like Tennessee is going to be able to get things rolling more often than not against Clemson.
This podcast is getting spicier and spicier. I'm going to disagree with you yet again. We're going to disagree on the first 4 games. I'm going Clemson. I just think Tennessee is not going to bring the same team to the field that they brought earlier in the year. I think Clemson's defensive front is going to be a problem for Tennessee, and I think Clemson can cover 4.5. I think Clemson's going to win this game about something like 33-23, something like that.
And,
So we are disagreeing on the first 4. There's a lot of stakes in these games. Now we end up with the playoff game. Let's begin with the Peach Bowl down in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the number 4 Buckeyes against the number 1 ranked team in the land, the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia 6.5-point favorite in this one.
I think you got this one first.
Georgia wins the game. The Buckeyes cover. I think this is going to be a fairly close game. I think Georgia's going to win the game 37-31. Give me the Buckeyes to cover. Georgia wins the game.
I don't like the Buckeyes to cover. I know they looked physical in the game against us, but they've been planning for that game 364 days of the year to get to be like that, and I think that Georgia's just going to punch them in the mouth. They're so efficient on offense. I don't think Ohio State's going to get very many stops, and I just feel like Georgia's defense is so good that they're not going to let you keep up with their high-flying, efficient offense behind Stetson Bennett. And I think that Marvin Harrison will be kept in check with Keely Ringo. I just feel like this is a game that Georgia is better fit for, and I think they're going to go back-to-back to the national championship. Give me Georgia to cover.
All right, so we disagree on all 5. I suspect we're going to agree on this last one, TCU against Michigan.
Probably.
I'm going Michigan. I think this is a bad matchup for TCU. I think the physicality of Michigan is going to really put TCU in its place, especially in the second half. I'm concerned about big plays with Max Duggan, Quentin Johnson, especially Max Duggan making plays with his feet. But down to down, I think Michigan just has a better play in the trenches, along the front lines, and probably on the edges. I'm not sure if I would say in the cornerback matchup. I think both teams have great corners, but I think Michigan is going to win this game by 20 points.
I sure hope so. I feel like Michigan's
41-21 Michigan.
Michigan's physicality is a terrible matchup for TCU. TCU's closest, idea to what Michigan could be was against Texas, and they're not really in the same planet as what Michigan's offensive line is. Although they did hold them to 10 points, I feel like Michigan's just on a whole different level with their running game, their running scheme, and with Donovan Edwards I think that he's just going to be able to break too many of these open. And I think we will hold Quentin Johnson and Max Duggan's deep ball in check. I think that, Junior Colson might have a chance spy for a lot of the game to keep
Mike Barrett.
Or Mike Barrett to keep Max Duggan's running ability out of the game. And I feel like that's just going to create too many problems for TCU to get something going. And I feel like that Michigan is just going to start pounding the rock and then eventually hit you with a deep shot, like a kill shot,
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably take Michigan about 38-17.
So pretty similar to what I said,
Yeah.
41-21. All right, so we disagree on 5 games, and we agree on 1, so we will not be tied at the end of this thing. It's going to be, one of us is going to have the lead. I'm pretty sure it's going to be me. We will see you for the national championship game preview, which we're both predicting is going to be Michigan against Georgia. Till then, I'm the Preacher.
I'm the Prodigy. Peace.
Peace.